Hi there, welcome to LSAT Freedom. This is the June 2007 LSAT in the logic games section. We're looking at the first logic game, which covers questions 1 through 5. For those of you who are new to LSAT Freedom, we offer LSAT preparation by Harvard Law School graduates for $499. We offer over 100 hours of online instruction that's both flexible and convenient, and that includes video explanations for over 1,000 LSAT questions. We also offer a one exam option where you can get the most recent LSAT with video explanations for just $50. Now, if you haven't downloaded the June 2007 LSAT, we encourage you to proceed to the URL in front of you on LSAT's website, and you can either view the exam on there or download it. We obviously can't show you the questions in a public video such as this one, so we encourage you to follow along with us in the exam. We'll refer to the questions so you'll know where we are at in this video, but you should have the exam in front of you as we do this. Okay, so let's look at this game. We know that we've got a 5-digit product code. So if it's 5 digits, we've got 5 spaces, and the digits that we're using are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're not using any others, so that's good. So we've got 5 digits, 5 spaces. The game also tells us that there is no duplication or repetition with any of these digits. Each one only appears once in the code. The next rule tells us that the second digit has to be twice that of the first one, so we can indicate that this way. So that second digit has to be double the first one. And then the last rule is that the third digit has to be less than the fifth one. So we can indicate that like this. So whatever digit goes in that third spot has to be less than the fifth digit. Now, you don't have to just stop here and then go to question 1. You can actually glean some more information from the limited information that we've gotten in this game. It appears limited upon first glance, but it really isn't. And the rule that you can use to begin diagramming some of these potential product codes is this rule over here that tells us that the second digit has to be twice that of the first one. And the key word there is the word exactly. The second digit has to be exactly twice that of the first digit. Now, the only two possibilities that work there are the numbers 1 and 2, because obviously 2 is exactly twice that of 1, and if we set out an additional template, the numbers 2 and 4 are the only other possibility, because of course 4 is twice that of 2. So this is good. Now we've got 2 potential templates to work from, but again, we don't have to stop there. We can actually diagram these codes out a little bit further. In the bottom one, if we know that 1 and 2 are in spots 1 and 2, the only 2 digits that can go in spot 3 are 0 and 3. And the reason for that is because 4 cannot go in that third spot, because then if 4 went there, there wouldn't be any digits left to put in spot 5 that would be greater than 4. And that would obviously violate that last rule, that the third digit has to be less than the fifth digit. So we have to reserve 4 for later, for a little bit later in the code, and then 0 and 3 are the only 2 potential digits that can go there. Now, if we know that those are the 2 digits that go there, we can actually go ahead and finish diagramming these codes. So if 0 is in spot 3, we know that some variation of 3 and 4 will go in spots 4 and 5. Okay, and then if 3 is in that third spot, then the only possible way we can diagram the rest of that code is by putting 0 in spot 4 and 4 in spot 5, because obviously 0 can't go in 5 because then it wouldn't be more than 3, so we need to put 4 there. So these are 3 potential scenarios. Obviously that middle template, we have 2 variations depending on how 3 and 4 break down. and the bottom one is fully determined. So you've got three potential arrangements for the code in these two templates. Now in the top one, if you have 2 and 4 there, then the only two digits that can go in spot 3 are 0 and 1. And again, that's because if we put 3 in the third spot, there wouldn't be any digits to go in spot 5 that would be more than 3. So we have to reserve 3 for that spot. So 0 and 1 are the only ones that can go in spot 3. Now if we know that, then we know that in that top template where 0 is in spot 3, some variation of 1 and 3 are going to go in the 4th and 5th spots. And if 1 is in that third spot, then the only way we can finish diagramming that code is by putting 0 in spot 4 and then 3 in spot 5. Obviously, we can't put 0 as a 5th digit because 0 would not be greater than 1. And we know that would violate that last rule. So 3 has to go in the 5th spot and 0 in spot 4. So you've got an additional 3 templates here. The top template has 2 variations of it, and then the second one is fully determined. So this is your universe of potential product codes, and we just did this in what, 2 minutes? So you have 6 potential arrangements for product codes. And you can use this information now to answer the questions pretty quickly because you don't have to sit there and diagram stuff out for each question. You've just done it. Now you can breeze through the answer choices for all of these questions by just referring to this diagram that we've created. So let's look at question 1. Question 1 tells us that it gives us an additional rule, basically, and it puts 1 as the last digit, and so it asks us what has to be true if 1 is in that last spot. Well, 1 being in the last spot, that should obviously prompt you to look at that first template that we created, and this is obviously the only template that works where 1 is that last digit. So all we need to do now to answer the question is refer to this template and find the right answer. So if 1 is in that last spot, what has to be true? Well, A, it tells us that 2 is in that first spot in the code, and that obviously is true, and in fact it has to be true according to this template. So A is the correct answer. B is incorrect because 0 is not in that second spot. C is incorrect because 3 is not in the third spot. D is incorrect because 4 is not in the fourth spot. That's reserved for 1 or 3. And E is incorrect because 0 is not in that fourth spot, again, because 1 or 3 go there. So A is the correct answer for question number 1. Question 2. Question 2, we need to figure out which one of these answer choices is true about any of these potential arrangements for the code. So all you need to do here is just kind of plug and play with the answer choices. So A, 1 goes before 2. Well, that's not correct because in both of these templates, 2 comes before 1. So A is incorrect. B, 1, does 1 go before 3? Well, we know that's incorrect because in this scenario, 3 could potentially go before 1. So B is incorrect. C, 2 comes before 3. Well, that's correct because in every one of these templates, 2 in fact goes before 3. So C is correct for all of these codes. D, 3 goes before 0. Well, that's incorrect because in 3 of these templates, 3 comes after 0. So D is incorrect. And then E is also problematic because 4 does not come before 3 in these last 2 templates. So, in fact, in that top one, only one variation shows 4 going before 3, but the other one shows 3 going before 4. So E is also incorrect, and so C is the correct answer for question 2. Question 3. 3, like question 1, gives us this additional rule, and it asks us which one of the answer choices then has to be true based on that additional information. And the information it gives us is that it tells us that 0 that 0 is not in that third spot. So we've got 2 templates where that is true. And so now all we need to do to answer the question, the question is to refer to these 2 templates. So what has to be true about these 2 templates? Basically, that's what we need to find out. So answer choice A is 2 in that second spot. Well, that's only true in the bottom template, but not true in the top one. So A is incorrect. B, 3 is in that third spot. Well, that's true in the bottom one, not true about the one at the top. So B is incorrect. C, 0 is in that fourth spot, and that's true of both templates. So C is the correct answer. D, 3 is in that fifth spot. That's incorrect because that obviously is not in the fifth spot for both templates. It's only in the fifth spot for the top one. And then E is also incorrect because 1 is not in that fifth spot in either template. So C is the correct answer for question 3. Okay, question 4. Question 4 gives us 5 sets of pairs of digits, and we need to figure out which one of those pairs cannot be in spots 3 and 4 in any of these templates. So for the answer choices, if you find a pair does fit into spots 3 and 4, then that answer is incorrect. We're looking for the one answer choice that contains a pair of digits that cannot go in spots 3 and 4. So let's look at A. A, 0 and 1, well, that can work in this top template, so A is incorrect. B, 0 and 3, that obviously works here, so B is incorrect. C, 1 and 0, that works here, no problem, so C is incorrect. D, 3 and 0 works down here, so D is incorrect. And then E, 3 and 4, that doesn't work in any one of these, so E is the correct answer because, again, 3 and 4 don't fit in spots 3 and 4 in any of these templates and in any of these potential arrangements for the product code. Okay, question 5. Question 5 asks us what has to be true about all of these possible product code arrangements that we've created here. So A tells us that there's only one space between 0 and 1, and only one space. So the problem with that is that in this particular template, you have 0 and 1 potentially next to each other, and also in the bottom one. And then obviously in the bottom 2 templates, or rather in the last template, there are 2 spaces between 1 and 0. So A is incorrect. B, is there one space between 1 and 2 in any of these templates? Well, 1 and 2 go together here, so that means that B is incorrect because there is a possibility where 1 and 2 are together and there isn't one space between them. C, are there at most 2 spaces between 1 and 3? Well, that's incorrect because in this particular arrangement, we've got 3 potential digits in between 1 and 3. So C is incorrect. D, are there at most 2 spaces between 2 and 3? Well, that's incorrect because here we've got potentially 3 digits between 2 and 3. And same thing with the bottom one, rather that second template. We had 4, 1, and 0 between 2 and 3. So D is incorrect, and that leaves us with E. Are there at most 2 spaces between 2 and 4? Well, 2 and 4 appear together in the top 2 templates, so that's fine. But and then in the bottom ones, we've got potentially one space between 2 and 4, so that's okay. And at most we've got 2 in spots 3 and 4. We've got 2 spaces there if 3 is in that 4th spot, and so that's fine. And then in the bottom one, we've got the 2 spaces between 2 and 4, so that works as well. So E is correct for all of these potential arrangements for the product code. So E is the correct answer for question 5.